Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you this morning. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad to be back. Took a quick trip down to Port Everglades, Florida. Did an errand for a friend, and I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity and the willingness to do that. And I'm glad that I made it back safely. It was a quick 4 day trip, and I'm happy to see you and be with you this morning. So let's begin as we usually do by doing our breathing exercises. And so we begin by breathing in through the nose, holding, and breathing out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Continue. In through the nose, hold, out through the mouth. Open your eyes and bat them a couple of times and shake your fingers and wiggle your toes and come back in your body. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to be alive. It's wonderful to be consciously breathing. I would like to suggest to you that any time one finds themselves struggling or with anxiety or fear or frustration or anger, the simple practice of in through the nose, hold, out through the mouth, 3 or 4 times of that will bring you to center and will calm you down. It brings me to center and calms me down. And what I know about everything is what works for one works for all. Good morning, Mary Lee. It's good to be with you. What works for one works for all. And so that a breathing exercise, whether it happens to be the one that we share every morning or one that you have created for yourself, works very well. And the more one chooses to use it and to focus on it, the more value that person gets out of that practice. Needless to say, it arrives with a desire to be other than anxious, to be other than angry, to be other than fearful, to be other than right or judgmental or any other undesirable trait that causes this man, and therefore I know it causes others, a sense of disconnection from everyone else. So today I just want to talk about a little bit about the experience that I had over the last 4 days to share it with you. And it really just boils down to the conscious intent of being of value to yourself and to another or others that at the end of the day are you, because we are all one. So when this person, Paul, serves another person, Paul is serving Paul's own higher consciousness. It's a choice. It's a choice to realize we're connected. It's a choice to realize we're all cut and remain connected to the same bolt of cloth. We are one. And so serving you, whomever you may be, is serving myself, relieving stress, struggle, concern, sickness from you relieves it from me. Helping another person under any circumstances for any length of time takes me out of my own concern for myself in that moment. And that is a release or a relieving effect in this day to day world that we live in. It's imperative to always bring ourselves back to realizing that I am the presence of God wherever I am. You, when speaking of yourself, are I am. And you are the presence of God wherever you are. But when you speak it for yourself, you speak, I am the presence of God. Part of what we are conditioned to do is refer to the other person whenever we're speaking. You know, you this, you that, they this, they that. Speaking of oneself directly is the only true empowering moment. When I attach myself to a group and then speak to myself as though I am you, it does not benefit this experience, nor does it benefit that experience. To serve another is to realize the other is I am. The freedom available when the stress, struggle, pain, fear is relieved of the other person, it is relieved of I am. These are the understandings that the society we're raised with chose to leave out until they became non familiar. Yet it is imperative for each of us who choose to walk a path of spiritual enlightenment and spiritual understanding to retake those first person understandings and apply them to ourselves. Serving another is serving oneself. Serving oneself in the truest form, which is loving all that is, of which I am. The conditioning that you and I were raised with, whoever you are sitting here today with me, however old you are sitting here today with me, the training is the same. Whether you're 68 like I am, or a little older than 68, or younger than 68, all the way back to when I watch my grandchildren, 4.5 and 9, I realize completely that they are trained to believe that everything happens outside of my grandchild's individual experience. They are trained to embrace that somebody or something is doing something to them. Therefore, they are relieved of responsibility and at the same time removed from their eternal conscious selves. This is how the power of fear is maintained. And so, for any person in any moment, for any reason, who chooses to turn to another and offer oneself as a servant to, empowers the whole of which we are all connected. If there wasn't, if there wasn't a whole, if there wasn't a lot, if there wasn't an experience of many, many, many manifestations of the life of God as love, then what in the world would there to be free from or of? Freedom is the flexibility to offer oneself as a servant to another. Personally, I am a sponge, I am a researcher, I am a reader. I gather information, I gather techniques, I gather applications, I gather experiences of what is so and what is not so, and I share them with you, with anyone, anywhere, anytime. To simply go into a shop or a restaurant, particularly when you're driving on the road, and address the service staff or address the cashier or address someone else in line with a smile and with respect is embraced in every case. Holding doors for one another, particularly in this masked experience we're having now. Being patient are all forms of serving one another. And they're all imperative to realizing the divine nature of oneself. Believe me when I say to you that if whomever you are, you simply say to yourself frequently in the mirror or not in the mirror, we are all the manifestation of God wherever we are. To realize that I am and you are cut of the same stuff opens up. And what I see and what you would see out of your eyes from that moment forward will be different. And it will be more inclusive. And it will be less fearful. Every moment of every day, every breath is an opportunity to realize I am the presence of God wherever I am. I am eternal. I am from ever to ever. I am forever to forever. And so are you. Again, I'm happy to be back with you. I'm happy to be in the place where I feel of most power, and that is in sharing that which is presented through me with you, my service, and to use this body consciously to help or be kind with those I meet. I acknowledge you as the presence of God wherever you are. I embrace you as myself. I acknowledge you as all power and all presence. Namaste. Namaste.